Atlanta Bird Gang, what's up? What's going on? What's popping? It's your dog, Tidy Man, with a quick live stream for you on this fabulous Friday. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? How we all feeling? Yeah, yeah. I know it's been like a little minute, but just gonna do a quick live stream. This should not take long, uh, at all. So welcome to the show, everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. As far as myself, don't really have any plans outside of working. Got some work I need to do, some phone calls I need to make for work. So plan to spend my entire weekend working, trying my best to be productive. So those are my plans. You know, going to be working. So nothing exciting. Playing for your boy, playing for your dog outside of work. That's it. That is it. Let's see what we got checking in so far today. We got my guy Winston Thorne is in the building. What's up with you, bro? Also, happy belated birthday to you as well, Winston. Y'all see Winston in the internet streets. Wish my dog a happy belated birthday. Mother dog in the building, John Brooks checking in. What's happening with you, John? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Winston's tell a friend to tell a friend to like, yes, to like and subscribe to Atlanta Bird Gang on YouTube. Let's keep this thing rocking and growing. Yes, sir. And as always, Winston, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. But just like my guy said, man, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep growing. Let's go all the way up to Pluto. All the way to Pluto. Facebook user is in the building. So what's good, bro? What we on? What's happening, Facebook user? What's happening, man? Just came in, man. Gonna do a quick live stream, man. We're gonna talk about why, in my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to draft Bijan Robinson to the Falcons with the 8th pick. Let me say, I'm not saying. Well, let me say this. I'm not saying it's not a good idea to draft him, just not at the 8th pick. So that's my thing right there. Um, Codone is in the building. Says hi. What's happening with you? What's going on? How's it going today? How's it going? No problem at all, Winston. John says happy birthday. John also says what's crack lacking tidy? Not much, man. Just chilling, just chilling. Got me a little cigar, man. So I'm just rocking and rolling, relaxing, brother. My guy Nick is checking in. What's up? What's up with you, Nick? How you doing today, bro? Nick says my guy Tidy appreciate the love of hand with this off season because folks are all over the place. Yeah, we definitely all over the place. Shout out to my guy Nick also. And that's how Falcons fans be in the off season, man. Off season be such a a crazy place for the Falcons fan base because we be on 2, then we be on 28, then we go all the way to 100. We be on front street, back street, side streets. Like Nick said, we be all over the place in the off season, man. Um, let's see here. Johnson tied up. I'm gonna be honest. I want Carter, bro. Jalen, man, I would love to get Jalen Carter in the first round, man. Um, if he's there, I would definitely love to have him. Definitely love to have him. It looks like he's gonna slide, and it's funny, man, because at one time he was like projected as a top 2 pick. At one point in time, he was projected as a top 2 pick, and now everything that has happened within these last few months, his stock has seemed to slide. But it did come out recently, John. His agent, Drew Roenhaus, I hope I said his name correctly, said that he's not going to meet with any teams that's drafting outside of the top 10. So his agent seems to be very confident that he's going to be a top 10 pick. He also has a very experienced, a very tenured agent in Drew. So obviously he feels like there's somebody gonna pick him um, inside the top 10. I read somewhere that when Philly picks, if he's there, they're gonna draft him. And I'm noticing Philadelphia is picking up a lot of Georgia Bulldogs. They're just really rebuilding the Georgia Bulldogs defense. So imagine reuniting Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, the Kobe Dean. That's what that seems like they're doing. They're just rebuilding UGA's defense. Matty T is in the building. So what is going on? I'm chilling, my friend. How's your Friday going, bro? Archangel in the building. Rise up to you, player. How you doing? Big James Dockery rising up from Kentucky as always. What's good? What's good with you, James? How's it going, player? Archangel says correct. Congrats on your 1K. Your 1K, my friend. Thank you, man. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. And once again, thank all of y'all as well for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. Appreciate it, Archangel. And I appreciate all y'all as well. Thank you very much. Let me put this phone on silent also. Facebook user says, with a pick, we need somebody that's going to put a QB on his eyes quick. I can agree with that, man. Somebody said go get Jalen Carter. That should help out that pass rush. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. All right, Angel also said, yes, please give me Jalen Carter, please. Yeah. Hey, man, let's go get the big guy, man. Let's keep the big guy. Let's take the big guy from Athens and send him about 90 miles across the state of Georgia to Atlanta. Keep him within the border. I would love that. Would love it. Jalen Carter's still the best player in the draft. You are probably right. I can somewhat agree with that. My guy Wallace Smith is in the building. Says, what's good? What's going on with your title? What's happening, Wallace? Rocking that Atlanta Falcons Matt Ryan jersey on the profile pic. What's going on with you, dog? How's it doing? Roger Smith is also in the building. Says, what's up, big homie Title? How you doing, my Falcon brother? I'm doing splendid, man. It's Friday. I'm here. So I'm doing fantastic. Robert Lindsay says they're throwing us 2 curveballs these past draft. Watch it be a player not on anybody's radar. Possibly, man. Possibly. You're possibly right about that. Fontenot and Arthur Smith, they don't really like this. They don't really like to show their hand on what their plans are. Ark says, let him slide to the right and then everybody clap your hands for the Falcons fan base. Champagne Bow says Jalen Carter can't even do his own drills. He's out of shape. He banging on Jalen Carter. Champagne Bow said he can't even do his own drills. He's out of shape. Dang, Champagne Bow came and ran on our parade, y'all. We was all happy just talking about Jalen Carter. Champagne said, man, let me bring y'all down to reality. He can't even finish his drills. He's out of shape. Dang, Champagne Bow. Dang. Well, what about what the tape says though, Champagne Bow? You know the drills can be deceiving sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Some of them workout warriors, man, and they get in real game situations and sometimes they fall off and vice versa. But dang, Champagne Bow, I think you have to do it. You must be a Florida fan, Champagne. I just mess with you. Miss B is in the building. How's it going today, Miss B? How you doing? Says, hey, Tyler, Jalen Carter's there at 8 and the Falcons skip over him. How would you feel? I would be upset. I would be upset. I'm not going to lie. I'd be upset. Because I feel like if he's there at 8, I think Atlanta needs to jump on him. I really do. So if they pass him, if he's there at 8, I would be upset. I would be upset. And we're going to do a live, myself and Steve and some others, we're going to do a live broadcast. We do this every year. We do the live broadcast during the draft. So Carter's there at 8 and the Falcons pass him up. Y'all gonna probably see the disappointment on my face. But yeah, I would be upset about that, Miss B. I wouldn't like that at all. 3 Dirty is in the building. Says, sorry I'm late. What I missed? North Kakalaka in the house. What's happening with your 3:30? We really got started on that yet, man. We just talking, you know what I'm saying? We're saying what we doing this weekend, how everybody feeling, how everybody doing. The stream ain't ever like about 10 minutes long, so you really haven't missed much at all. Corey Sherman is in the building. I said, what's up, Tyler? What's up with you, Corey? How's it going? Roger said, I want to tune in to your final mock draft, big homie. I guess I'll drop my final one, man, maybe like a week before the draft. I'll put it in our group. I'll put it in our group. That'll be like my final mock, and then we'll have the ultimate draft in like 3 weeks. So it's almost here. I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready for it. It's always exciting to me. James says I'm about to pass rush for this team. I'd like to get Will Anderson from Bama. Hey, I'm good with Will Anderson too. We'd have to trade up for Will though. We're probably not gonna make it past Seattle if he make it past number 3. And I think the Cardinals on that pick. So, but I would love to get Will Anderson, man. Robinson's with the number eight pick. The Atlanta Falcons select guard from Iowa. Who is that? Who is that? The guard from Iowa. I thought the kid from Northwestern was the number 1 offensive lineman in this year's draft. Matty T says, I want Carter, Wilson, Gonzalez, or Witherspoon. But with Wilson, that foot injury is concerning. He didn't do the combine to hurt his draft. I don't know if you say he didn't do anything to come out and hurt his draft. I'm not sure. Mike is in the building. Says we are a running team. If our number 1 goes down, I have changed my mind. I want Robinson, which the Falcons will do because Smith wants offense every single year. So Mike said, bring him Bijan Robinson. We're about to get into that conversation. And I'm going to tell y'all what, I don't think that's a good thing to do at number 8. Not saying I don't think we should draft him, but just not at number 8. That's my only thing. I love Bijan Robinson as a football player. Love watching him play. Exceptional talent. But not at number 8. Not a running back. Wallace says, I like Jalen Carter, but I don't think we're drafting DT with our 8th pick. Yeah, Wallace, you have told me that before also. And you also gave very good reasons why you said we won't be drafting Jalen Carter. Or we don't need to draft Jalen Carter based on the free agent acquisitions that we acquired during free agency. It made a lot of sense to me. Tydrick is in the building. What's happening with you, Tydrick? How you doing, player? Our Angels, I still want him. He will be just fine. I agree. Appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it. How about them Braves, man? The Braves and came out on fire. Ain't lost but 1 game. What they like 6-1 now? Or was it 7-1 after last night? But anyway, they on fire. Either way it go. Braves gonna win the World Series this year again. We just gotta stay healthy. Our Angel says Campbell will mentor him into shape. Yeah. Got Calais Campbell. He can serve as a mentor role. Also, Big Grady Jarrett too. So I feel like we got a strong enough locker room for somebody like Jalen, especially at his position group. Grady and Campbell, they ain't gonna let him come in here and just cause any kind of distractions to the team. And I don't think you did that at UGA, but I guess you really have to ask some of the players. But I never heard anything like that. Mills in 1967 is in the building. What's happening with you, Mills? What's going on with your big dog? I mean, if we don't get Jalen, maybe we can get Will Anderson. Hey, I'll take either one on, John. I'm good. I wouldn't complain about either. Give me either or. I'm cool. I'm coolio. I am coolio. Winston says drills are worthless. To be honest, the game tapes say worse. Yeah. I believe in that also. Like maybe if you want to see how fast, what kind of top speed a wide receiver or a DB has, they run a 40. I think those two positions, speed probably matters the most. You might can add. I don't think that's it. I don't think one of our running backs have to be necessarily that bad. But yeah, if you just want to see what kind of top speed like a wide receiver or DB has, running a 40, that kind of tells you. Wallace says Jalen Tate speaks for itself and he should still get drafted in the top 10. I think he will. I don't think his agent will jump out there without a parachute by not letting him talk to teams outside the top 10. So I'm pretty sure they got like a commitment from probably at least 2 teams. Like, hey, if he there, he gonna come here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he will. If we pass on Carter at 8, we will regret it. Trust me, says our agent. Man, this this situation with Jalen reminds me so much of when Warren Sapp was coming out of Miami. I think I said it already, but we know how that played out. Warren Sapp, he slid in the draft, based on, they said he had like character issues, um, just like they're saying with Carter. And we know how that story finished. We know how that book ended with a Super Bowl and a first team Hall of Famer. And honestly, one of the best defensive linemen to ever play the game. So if he's there at 8, Atlanta, I hope we grab him, man. I hope we get him. Facebook uses Carter a wrecking ball. F that out of shape. SHIT. He's talking about we seen what he do on the field 2 years straight. Yeah. Now that's exactly what I'm saying also, man. That's what I'm saying also. You can honestly you could make the argument. I'm not saying that he was, but you know what? You can at least debate or have a valid argument and say, hey, this guy was arguably the best player on the Bulldogs team the last 2 years. I'm not saying he was, but if you want to have that argument, I think it's valid. I think it's valid. Facebook is the dogs I want are Carter, Smith, and Ringo in that order. You think Ringo go to the second round? I hadn't heard a lot about Ringo these past few months leading up to the draft. I guess because Jalen Carter and Stetson Bennett has, took all the publicity from him. But I've heard some people say that they may try to play him at safety also in the league. We shall see. We shall see. Nick says just a shame that Carter's off the field stuff is impacting his draft status plus his pro day. I just hope the young man ends up in a good situation. At 8, we need an immediate contributor, regardless who perform at a high level. I like cornerback at 8 personally. Excellent comment there also. And you're right. It's a shame that off the field stuff that happened, it's affecting his draft status. Because we talked about earlier on the show, man, like there was at one point where he was like a top 2 draft prospect. And now you got questions on whether or not he'll be drafted in the top 10. And I do agree we need somebody that's going to come in and make an immediate impact at number 8. And a quarterback at number 8, I like that too. I like Gonzalez. Witherspoon. I think I said in the last live that quarterback at number 8 would be a good move because Hayward is getting old. I think Hayward's going to be 34 years old this season. He only has 1 year left on his contract with Atlanta. And we all saw what happened last year when he went down and AJ went down. We just didn't have any depth at cornerback, and teams smoked us when they saw our 2 starters went down. So cornerback at number 8 does make a lot of sense. And this draft is filled with a lot of good talents at the cornerback position. Tidy, do you think we draft Will Anderson if we pass on Jalen? I think in order to get Will Anderson, we got to move up. You'd have to trade up to get Will because Will Anderson won't be there past number 5. And honestly, it depends on how these quarterbacks fall. I see Bryce and CJ going, or CJ and Bryce. You can use them interchangeably, but I think those will be the first 2 picks. And whether there's a team who has fell in love with AR-15 and Will Levis, they could be wild card picks in the top 5. I'm not certain that they get drafted 3 or 4, but I'm like 95% positive that Will Anderson wouldn't be there at number 6. So in order to get Will, I think we would have to definitely trade up to get him. Wallace says we won't regret it because we passed on Jordan Davis also. Well, we did, but the thing about Jordan Davis, well, there's a few things about that. One, Jordan Davis is still writing his book. So it's too early to say whether we will whether we will or we won't regret it. The other thing about that, Jordan Davis was really never projected at the very top of the draft. He was always looked at as number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12. He was kind of always looked at slightly inside the top 10 or somewhere in the middle parts of the first. Whereas Jalen Carter at one point, he was looked at as like a top 2, top 3 prospect. So Jordan Davis was never, he never had as high of a draft grade um, as Jalen Carter does. So we'll have to wait and see. I think we still have to wait and see before we can call the shot on that one. Players have bad come outs all the time and end up being ball hog, straight up beast. Yeah, that happens every single year. Every single year. Champagne bounces being in shape is very important for being on the defensive line. The talent is undeniable, but not being in shape is a red flag that concerns me. Valid concern, Champagne Bath. But let me ask you this: are you willing to give him any kind of break based on the situation that happened? You know, with the car accident and everything. And the reason I say that is because you never know what something like that will do to a person mentally and spiritually, especially, somebody that young. And really, age probably ain't really got nothing to do with it, to be honest, because that's a very traumatic experience. And it's fair to say, like, you really don't know how you're going to respond to that until you actually experience it. So, being that he allegedly was indirectly or directly, however you want to classify that, that's up to you, involved in a situation where two people lost their lives, I'm sure that did something to him mentally and spiritually. And maybe that did something to his preparation for the draft, for his pro day, you know? So that's why I asked, are you willing to give him a pass for that? Because, that happened and then bam, okay, time to do your pro day. And I could just imagine being involved in a situation like that. So that's why I asked you, do you give him a pass because of that? 330 says, with the offseason pickups, what are the most needs? Good question. I think wide receiver, WR2, wide receiver 2, or the second wide receiver is still sticking out to me. I know we picked up some wide receivers in the offseason, but none of them give me WR2 vibes. I still think that's going to be a need for us. And Nick mentioned cornerback a moment ago. I think cornerback is still a glaring need also. Again, Hayward getting old, 34 years old. If he goes down again, like who can step up and give us viable, efficient playing time? I think cornerback is still a glaring need. Um, Left guard, I think that's still a position of need. I'm about to surprise y'all. I know y'all gonna say I've been smoking weed, which I haven't, but I don't think center is one of the most position needs. Unlike probably most of the fan base, I got a little confidence in Dahlman and also Hennessy. Even though Dahlman had snap issues last year, Dahlman wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, and I know we got on him a lot. And I think we got on him a lot because of the snap issues. But if you take that away, that can be fixed. You can fix that. That's fixable in the league. But you take that away, he wasn't bad. I'm not saying that he was great or very good either, but he wasn't bad. And for a young guy, I can take not being bad. Because if you're not being bad, that means you got a lot of room for improvement, and you can improve if you're not bad or you're not terrible. And let's see what else. I would have said linebacker, but we signed some guys in free agency to play the linebacker position. Got some safeties. I think that would probably do it. Yeah, pass. I want to say pass rush is just by nature of being a Falcons fan because we always have problems rushing the passer. So I kind of want to say that also as well. Wallace's Braves are 6-1 right now. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. That boy's been balling. Had a thrilling game yesterday. Very thrilling game. Nick says off the subject, but how do you feel about the Braves going with Arcia versus Grissom? That was a surprise for me. It was for me slightly also. The thing about the Braves now is kind of like almost like the Bulldogs. I'm way more trustworthy with the decisions that Atlanta make. Well, Atlanta, the Braves make, and also the decisions that the Bulldogs make. So when the Braves make personnel decisions or any kind of in-house decisions, I'll go ahead and get in the benefit of the doubt because of a recent World Series and just because of the success they've had recently. Even though we didn't win a World Series last year, I still think the Braves had a great season. I still think they had a great season. I was proud of them, even though we didn't win the World Series again. I was proud of them, and of course, we ain't got to speak about what the Bulldogs have been doing recently. So I'm a little more lenient when they make their personnel decisions as opposed to somebody like the Atlanta Falcons because they just haven't been successful lately. No Super Bowls, and so I think just by nature as a fan, a lot of times I just be so skeptical of a lot of the things that the Falcons do because they haven't really proven like these other Georgia teams that we just talked about that they can do it. So as far as the Braves go, surprising, but I don't question them like I have to question these Falcons because they have done it. Antonio Holloway is in the building. What's up with you, man? How's it going? John Brooks, tied of the Braves, look to go 7-1 tonight if it doesn't rain. Yeah. Hopefully the rain passes through. It rained here slightly today, but I don't think it's raining outside right now. I don't hear anything. Archangel said, yeah, the free agents was good. Love the free agent pickup. Don't get me wrong, but let's also be honest with ourselves. Grady, Campbell, Goldman, and on your mama. I like that on your mama. I'm about to start saying that because I ain't figured out. I hadn't learned how to pronounce his name yet, so I'm just start calling him on your mama. I like that. Appreciate it, Archangel. It's getting up there in age. You're right. You're right. The Calais Campbell signing. Overall, I like the signing, but that was in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, he damn near 40 though. I'm saying he damn near 40 years old, and it was only a 1 year deal. So I was like, okay, that's cool. If he's totally falling off a cliff, which I hope he hasn't. But if age has gotten the best of him, at least we only committed to him for 1 year. So I like that signing, and I think such a experienced and established player like Campbell can come in and serve a vital role to the younger guys on the team. And even if he don't, even if Campbell don't want to come in and say mentor the young guys, because some players just want to get their check. They looking at it like, hey, the team don't pay me any extra to talk to you on the phone and go over the playbooks with you and let you take some of my moves that have been successful for me over my career. They don't give me any bonuses for that. So even if Campbell don't want to take that role, a lot of times guys end up being mentors and they'll have proteges that they don't even know about. You can have a mentor from afar, you know. You can have a mentor from afar. You can have a young guy that's coming in, rookie or maybe his second or third year, and he just watches you in practice. He watches how you eat. He watches how you handle the press. He watches how you carry yourself on and off the field. He watches you in the game. He watches your footwork, your hands. So even if Campbell don't want to quote unquote mentor guys, you still are going to be a mentor to guys. You know, you can still mentor people without you even knowing it. And the smart younger players, that's what they do. Okay, well, you ain't gotta you ain't gotta be my official mentor, but I'm still gonna watch and learn from you. Ark said we need a younger buck. Um, we got to start thinking about the future longevity. I agree with you on that. Totally, 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 totally. Miss B says, I don't know if he talked about it, just tuning in, but what do you think about the Cam Newton video if you saw it? I hadn't seen it. What did he say, Miss B? I hadn't seen the video. I haven't seen it. The last news I saw or heard about Cam Newton was maybe what's today? Friday. It was sometime recently, maybe Thursday or Wednesday, where he said that he would like play the backup role to younger players, if that's what you mean. But I didn't actually watch the video. I just, I'd be when you be on the internet sometimes, or you just hear a sound bite. I just heard him talking about it. I forgot what I was watching. Wallace said, "What do you think about Nolan Smith, or O line with our eighth pick if we don't draft the cornerback?" I think eight is too high for Nolan. I think you can get Nolan with a trade down if that's who you want to get. O line, I wouldn't want to go O line at 8 either. I'm not a fan of either one of those at number 8. Not an offensive lineman, or Nolan Smith. Even though, of course, being a Georgia fan, I love Nolan Smith and his game, but just not at number 8. Let's see. Hell Rail, what's up, Hell Rail? Says CP not getting any younger. We don't know how Huntley will return. If we don't take Bijan, the Eagles will probably take him at 10. I'm open to it. And honestly, to be honest, and great comment by the way, Hell Rail. Honestly, I think it makes more sense for the Eagles to draft him than the Falcons to draft him, because the Eagles could argue we're only a running back away. The Eagles could argue we had Mahomes beat, but we just couldn't keep the ball long enough. We punted one too many times. We made just one bonehead play that we shouldn't have made. I think Bijan makes way more sense to the Eagles than he would to the Falcons, because the Eagles only lost I think 4 games all last year, including the Super Bowl. So I think a player like Bijan makes more sense for the Eagles than the Falcons, because the Eagles are already built to win big now. They lost it. They did lose a lot of talent this offseason, so I don't know how they're gonna rebound back from that. But I think they'll still be very good. But the Eagles are already in like win big now mode. I don't know if the Falcons are really certain that they're out of rebuild mode yet. So based on how both teams are built and based on the rosters, I think he makes way more sense going to Philly than he would to Atlanta. Let's see. Johnson, I heard the Ravens are losing at AR-15. You said they're going to get him, or you say they're not going to get him? Dave, what's up, Dave? I'll draft UCLA running back Zach Charbonnet in the second round and would not think twice about it. I would like a running back in the second way before I take one in the first. And I'm gonna be honest, Dave. Even at the second round, man, I'd be like, because it is running back. But yeah, let me go ahead and get to the topic. Bijan Robinson, right? Phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete. I think he could come in and make immediate productive impact to any team that takes him, whoever takes him in the draft. But as far as the Falcons go, just not at number 8. I'm a big fan of Bijan Robinson too. A huge fan of his game. And I've been talking shit about Bijan almost 2 years now. Back in 2021, that's really when he caught my eye. And I just started watching. I was like, man, this kid is special, boy. And at that point in time, I'm like, man, the Falcons got to draft him. I remember watching the game back in 2021. Like, man, the Falcons got to draft this kid. I'm telling y'all. I was talking about that to some of my friends. Like, man, boy, we got to get this. I'm telling y'all, this dude play running back in Texas for Texas. Like, dude, that dude, like, he gonna be AP reincarnated, Adrian Peterson. Like, we need to get him. But not at number 8. Fast forward to 2023 here in April. Just not at number 8. The shelf life of a running back in today's NFL is so short. It is so short. Running backs are in their prime 1 year. They're doing this, they're doing that. And like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games later, it's like they're no longer effective anymore. And we see it all the time with running backs in today's NFL. The investment price of the 8th pick, to me, like when you're drafted in the top 10, in the NFL draft, to me, you gotta have the mindset of whoever I get on this team, he has to get a minimum of 2 contracts from us. At the very minimum. 3 would be even better, but you gotta get at least 2 contracts drafted at number 8. I feel like that should be the mindset of an NFL team when you draft in the top 10. So you're pretty much saying, this guy got to be here the next 8 or 9 years. This guy got to be here the next 8 or 9 years. That's why I'm drafting him in the top 10. But when you're talking running back, running backs nowadays are lucky if they have 5 good to great years. It's very rare that happens now. I think outside of this year, our last time we saw great running game was Devontae and Tevin Coleman. And for like 2, maybe 3 years, 2 to 3 years, roughly, they looked outstanding as a duo. Like, damn, boy, look at Freeman. Like, boy, look at Coleman. I remember there was a point in time where they both were so damn good that the argument was who was better, Coleman or Freeman. And really, it was just a matter of personal preference. At the end of the day, either one of them could get the job done. That's why we had the argument. Or that's why we had the debate, shall I say. But just like that fell off. Just like that. They went from, damn, they good as FUCK. Like, damn, what happened to Devontae and Coleman? Freeman started getting hurt like most running backs do. Never the same. Tevin Coleman went to San Francisco. He had one okay year after he left Atlanta. He had an okay year. He did have Kyle Shanahan, running game guru. But after that, it was like, where Coleman at? What happened to Tico? And I'm just using them as an example because I'm familiar with them. We're familiar with them as Falcons fans. But running backs, they just don't last long. They don't last long. And then if we draft him at number 8, you're gonna get to the point where, to be honest with you, like his first contract, you're gonna be like overpaying him. Because you're gonna be paying a running back about 20, 21 million a year. Not a year. Total value. you're gonna give him a 4-year deal for around $21-22 million for a running back as a rookie. As a rookie, well, you could get that to a pass rusher. You could get that to a quarterback. You could get that to a left tackle, defensive tackle, positions of more importance that have a way longer shelf life. And speaking of the money aspect of it, you got Tyler Algier, 5th-round draft pick. He just set a y'all. He just set a franchise rookie record for rushing yards. Franchise record for rushing yards. I think Gerald Riggs held the record. Y'all let me know if I'm inaccurate with that, but I think it was Gerald Riggs. He just set the record. Didn't even play the first game. Didn't play much the second game. But he still set the record. And speaking of the money factor, he only makes like $1 million a year. Tyler Algier's contract is like 4 years, $3.999 million. So 4 years, $4 million. So we're paying Algier like $1 million per year on average. And the way NFL contracts are structured, he probably only get like $400,000 as a rookie. Because every year when you get in a rookie contract, it goes up. Like you might make 400 this year, 600 this year, 700 this year, and 1,300 the last. Excuse me, to my 100, 1.3 million the final season. And he set a franchise record. Average 5 yards per carry. So it's not like this was a case with Algier that he got a bunch of yards as a rookie because we just force-fed him the ball. That wasn't the case. He averaged 5 yards per carry. In the NFL, that's phenomenal. We didn't force-feed him the ball. He was efficient when he got the ball. So a 5th-rounder who's only making on average $1 million per year, who did the job very, very, very well, why now go and take another running back at 8 and you got to pay him 5 times as much to be a running back? You'd have to pay Bijan 5 times as much as you are paying Tyler. And at the end of the day, ain't no guarantee he'll be better than Algier. I mean, we think he will, but y'all know how it goes. Until you get on the field, you ain't proven nothing yet. Tyler done proved 1 year to us that he a dog. So why go out of our way to invest a number 8 pick to overpay a running back when we did a damn great job running the ball with a 5th-round pick, journeyman special teamer, mediocre quarterback, and another running back who just was going from practice team to practice team? And we were still, the 3rd best rushing team in the NFL with those guys? So if nothing else, Arthur Smith has shown, like, look, I can scheme to run the ball. Now, my passing plays and getting the right quarterback, okay, yeah, I probably need to work on that. But I can scheme to run the ball. Even though Derrick Henry is a different kind of beast, Derrick Henry was the most productive in his career under Arthur Smith. Again, Arthur Smith took guys that we'd have never thought and made the Falcons the number 3 rushing team in the NFL. So I mean, by adding Bijan, what does that do? You mean to tell me you're gonna now sit Tyler Algier down? And I know you have the dual running back system nowadays in the NFL, so you can take a lot of the wear and tear off your running backs. But you know what? If you draft the running back at number 8, he got to get the ball like 70%, 75% of the time because he's the number 8 pick. So he has to be clearly the feature back. And I'm talking about Bijan because you took him at 8 as a running back. There won't be any more dual. It won't be a dual back system with Tyler and Bijan. It'll be Bijan clear cut number 1. You get almost all the carries, and we'll bring Tyler in here to be like your backup when you get tired. Because again, at number 8, ain't no 50-50 at number 8. It got to be 75-25. And if you take him at number 8, you can't go 50-50 split. If you take Bijan at 8, you got to go 75-25 because he's the 8th pick. So he has to be the clear cut lead horse in 75% of the carries because of what you drafted him at. You don't take a running back at number 8 and split the carries evenly. If that's the case, just wait till the 3rd, 4th, 5th round if you want to split the carries. You know? Now, if we didn't have Tyler Algier, if we struggled to run the ball, I still wouldn't be a fan of taking a running back at 8. But I think you'd have more ground to stand on if you think it makes sense at number 8. And I don't think there's a lot of ground to stand on. And then look at it this way also. Look at it this way. If you take him at number 8, we are already a running team already, right? We was already a running team last year. We ran the ball, y'all, almost 60% of the time. Last year, we ran the ball almost 60% of the time. Even when we were down by 2 scores in the 4th quarter, we still was running the ball. But bypassing that. If you take Bijan at 8, now you're a ground and pound team. Now you really got to run the ball. Not like we weren't doing it already, but now, I mean, you really clearly, I mean, you really got to run the ball. And if that's the case, why did you draft Kyle Pitts and Drake London at number 4 and number 8? If you're just going to turn this team into a ground and pound 1974 Pittsburgh Steelers type of team. I ain't got no problem with that at the end of the day. But why did you take Kyle Pitts at 4, a pass catching tight end who can't really block with his hand in the dirt, and Drake London at 8? So now you done took your first two draft picks in the first round of your first 2 years here. Now you're turning them into blockers. I can assure you Kyle Pitts don't want to be no blocker. You think Drake London want to just be blocking downfield? So that would really make me question, like, does Fontenot and Arthur Smith really have a concise, clear-cut plan? If you're going to turn us into a ground and pound team, why did you take Kyle and then you take Drake? That don't make sense. Because if you drop Bijan, you got to commit even more to the running game. You got to, because you got Tyler Algier coming back. Then you have Bijan at 8. So you really got to be running. We might have to run 62% of the time this coming season with Bijan Robinson. So why you take Kyle Pitts and Drake London? Why if you gonna just be, hey, I'm just gonna run the ball, dog. Well, why you take guys whose style is predicated on being pass catching options? It just don't make sense. And again, I'm not saying that I would not like to have Bijan Robinson, just not at 8. Not at 8. At number 8, I want a guy that I know. Well, I can't say I know, but I want a guy that I feel comfortable is going to be here for 2 contracts. Do y'all see what happened with running backs who become good during a rookie contract? Have y'all noticed a trend? A lot of times they don't stay with that team for the second contract. Why? Because they're gonna be overpaid. You see the Giants already trying to get out of paying Saquon Barkley more money. They trying to shout, hey, anybody want Saquon? Look at the Chargers. They don't want to pay Eckler. I hope I said his name right. They don't want to pay him. They're trying to shop him. Teams don't want to pay running backs $10+ million a season because the position isn't valuable enough for that. Derrick Henry got a nice, I think Derrick Henry is making like 12, 13 million a year. But y'all heard what happened. Well, you saw it happen early in the offseason. And there were some rumors that they were shopping Derrick Henry. A lot of running backs don't make it. Don't stay with that team for that second contract if you are a good running back, because it's going to cost too much. So I don't want to be in a predicament where I take a guy at running back at number 8 and I'm paying him the same thing I would pay a rookie quarterback, a rookie pass rusher, a rookie left tackle. And then he does perform well in his rookie deal. And now he coming back to the table for his second contract, asking me for $15 million per season as a running back. Like, bro, you about to fall off the cliff in another year. I'm not going to give you that kind of money. And you end up losing him. You end up losing him. So we want to get somebody here for just, and even if you 5th-year option to running back, that's you overpaying him. So you want to bring a guy here for 4 years who's going to probably spend the first 3 years sharing carries with Tyler Algier when you're only paying Algier $1 million a year. Algier's contract is $4 million over 4 seasons. That's called value. That's a bargain. Tyler Algier is giving you first-round production, and you're paying him as a 5th rounder. That's how you win Super Bowls. That's how you win Super Bowls. You don't win Super Bowls by overpaying positions. You win Super Bowls when you figure out a way to underpay the position. That's how you win Super Bowls, by underpaying the position, not overpaying the position. It's a hard cap. So the teams that figure it out, well, shoot, man, Buddy giving us Pro Bowl numbers, but he ain't making but $1.4 million a year. Those are the teams that win. So Bijan at 8, the shelf life is too short for a running back. The position isn't valuable enough. The position isn't. If this was the 80s or the 90s, it would be different. The top 3 rushing teams in the NFL this past season. The top 3, and the Falcons are one of those 3. You can figure out the other 2 on your own. But the top 3 rushing teams in the NFL of 2022, guess how many playoff games they won? Somebody take a guess for me. I'm looking at the chat right now. Y'all want to guess how many playoff games the top 3 NFL rushing teams won in the postseason? Somebody just take a guess. Do your boy a favor. Guess how many playoff games the top 3 rushing teams in the NFL won this past playoffs? 0. Thank you, IQ. 0 playoff games. They won 0 playoff games. 0 playoff games. You're right, Mills, N19. They didn't win no playoff games. Now, don't get me wrong. Having a viable rushing attack that can control the clock, limit turnovers, and all that stuff, it helps greatly. But you know what? It's a passing league. The top passing team is the team that won the Super Bowl. It's a passing league. This ain't the 1980s, man. With Walter Payton and this ain't the 90s either with Emmitt Smith, and this is a passing league. So while we sitting there running the ball 45 times a game, other team getting the ball going right down the field in 7 plays, touchdown. While we got these long 12 play drives for 8 minutes, and we drive 6 to 8 yards to kick a field goal, the other team get the ball right back. They go down the field in 7 plays, 3 minutes, touchdown. It's a passing league. So why I'm trying to build a team to be ground and pound when that's not the style of play right now? That's like coming in the NBA in 2023 saying, yeah, man, I'm about to dominate the post, big dog. Bam. They ain't gonna be able to stop me in the post. Boy, they got, and you got this slow old school game, but you get the ball in the post, you got all these posts. Like, bro, that style of play is that's over with, bro. You got to run the court. You got to be able to shoot some threes. That's the style of play that these teams are playing that are winning. You're not finna beat the Golden State Warriors in the finals in the post, but you better be able to shoot. All that Karl Malone and Patrick Ewing style of play, don't nobody play like that no more. Don't nobody sit here and run the ball 40, 50 times a game. So why do I want to take and build my team around something that doesn't win anymore? Chicago Bears, Baltimore Ravens, Atlanta Falcons, top 3 rushing teams in the league, 0 playoff wins. 2 of the teams that didn't make the postseason. Make it make sense. And I like Bijan. Don't get me wrong. It ain't the fact that I don't like the player. I just don't like the draft pick at 8. Give me something that's going to be sustainable. Give me something that's going to be sustainable. Ms. B, you're absolutely right. That's something that the Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers could afford to do. Exactly. They already got playoff caliber teams. Those are teams that are already a player away. Or in the Chiefs' case, they won the Super Bowl this past season. But exactly. That's something that teams like that could afford to do. And somebody mentioned earlier about he would make sense for Philadelphia. He would, because that team is already there. They already built to win. We don't even know if we threw it our rebuild yet, which I don't think we are. But I just and I love Bijan as a player, man. I love him as a player. I don't want nobody to say I'm hating on Bijan. I don't like the fact of taking a running back at number 8. That's my only thing, man. You're gonna be paying him number 8 money. And then if he do end up being good or great, Falcons not gonna be able to keep him for the second contract. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that now. We ain't gonna be able to afford him. You just gave Lindstrom 105 mil. Hey, don't look now, but it's almost time to pay Kyle Pitts. Don't look now, but it's almost time to pay Kyle Pitts. By that time, if Ritter ends up being the guy we want him to be, you're gonna have to be able to pay him by then. McGarry just got $10 million a year. You got to pay AJ Terrell in all season. You're going to have to pay the Champagne Poppy Drake London. So how you going to find the money to give a running back 12, 13, 14? You know what I'm saying? At the running back position. And that the running back position not even that valuable in the NFL. I can understand like putting a team in a salary cap buying for a valuable position. But the running back position not even that valuable in the NFL, y'all. Who was the Chiefs starting running back? Yeah, I mean, it ain't something that just roll off your tongue. Like, yeah, him. Why? Because they ain't sitting there trying to run the ball 50 times a game. We gonna put up points on y'all. We gonna put up points on y'all. All these other good teams, man, they ain't trying to ground and pound you to death. Why we want to be a ground and pound team? You know, I want to throw the ball. Excuse me, I want to throw the ball, man. It just don't make sense at 8. The position is not that valuable. It's not a valuable enough position. It just ain't. Look at this. I pulled up some. We're gonna look at a few different things. As you see right here, now this is telling us the most valuable positions in NFL football. You see what running back is ranked at? Number 10. They got running back ranked as the 10th most valuable position in the NFL. The 10. And you telling me you want to draft the guy 8 with the 10th most valuable position? Number 10. Now that's one site. Let's look at another site. That's just one site. Let's look at another one. Here goes another one right here. They got the position ranked at 15. They got it ranked just above the kicker. Just above the kicker. They're saying on this site, and all of these sites are saying they're ranking positions based on importance. Of course, quarterback is number 1 on every list. Running back falls differently. So we done seen it ranked number 10 on one list, number 15 on the other. Number 15, right above the kicker. Let's look at another one. Let's see what another site got it ranked at. All right, right here they're ranking the running back position at number 11. So we've seen 7, 10, 11, 15. Nobody's ranking running back in the top 5. So no matter what data you want to look at or what data or perspective you want to believe, nobody is saying it's a top 5 important position in the league. Why spend a 8th pick on something that's not even an important position when it comes to winning and sustained success? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. They got it ranked 11. Ranked number 11. Let's see. I think we got one more. Let's see where they got it ranked at right here. Let's see where they got it. They got running back ranked at 10. So here go another site that ranks it at 10. It's right here. They got it ranked at number 10. Now, I also pulled up some data from the NFL.com, the NFL's own website. NFL put out their own list. So let's see what the NFL ranks them at. Let's see what the NFL themselves got it ranked at. And this is from NFL.com. Number 7, running back. Number 7. Right from the NFL.com, number 7. So that's why I'm at with it, man. Like, I love Bijan, man. I love him as a player, but why at number 8? If they love him that much, man, you need to trade down and try to get him at 18, 19, 20, 21 in the first round. And even then, I don't like drafting a running back in the first round because the data, the history shows that player, in all probability, won't play very long. Or if they do play very long, it will not be at a high level. It won't be at a high level. And we're already getting first round production from a 5th rounder mixed with a journeyman special teamer practice squad guy, and a mediocre quarterback. We don't need to turn ourselves into a team that runs the ball 65% of the time. We're not gonna win that way. We ain't gonna win that way. We was ranked number 3 last year in rushing, won 7 games. We need to somehow become a team who's throwing and catching the ball better. That's a bigger indicator of success in current football. Not who can run the ball the best, but who can throw the ball the best and be efficient when they're throwing it. That's a bigger indicator of success in today's football. Y'all, anybody want to guess on what the Falcons was ranked in the NFL in passing last year? Somebody guess for me. I'm looking at the comments. What was the Falcons ranked in passing last year? Let's talk about that. What was our, because we know we did good in running the ball on paper, but what was we ranked in passing last year? Anybody want to guess? What was the Falcons ranked? Archangel said 32. Close. That's close enough to be right. We was 31st. Next to last. So we'll just say you're right, because we was right there at the ass end of the list. Pretty much the worst passing team in the NFL. That's what we need to be improving on: throwing the ball, catching the ball, yards after catch. The teams that are winning are able to efficiently score quick. Bam, bam, bam. Gotcha. They ain't trying to, and don't get me wrong, that time of possession matters. You want to control time of possession, but you just don't want to turn yourself into a 1984 team either. It's still 2023. While you sit here trying to run with Bijan and Tyler for 64% of the time, these teams going up and down the field scoring on us. Up and down the field scoring on us. Ms. B said, look what they did with Huntley, and he was an undrafted guy. Exactly. And the craziest thing is, B, some people would argue that he ran the ball better than Algier did. I've heard people say Huntley taught the other running backs how to run behind the line. Huntley was doing a damn great job till he got hurt. She said he was a diamond and we found him, so they surely can find somewhere else later in the draft. I totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Millie Mills is in the building. What's up, Millie Mills? So damn, so that Marcus Mariota 49ers game kept us being 30. Pretty much, bro. We were pretty much the last team in the NFL in passing. And they want to draft the running back at 8, bro. Make it make sense to me, Millie. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Archangel said, yes, this is true. Some like Huntley better than Tyler. Yeah, that right, right, Archangel. Exactly. I heard plenty of fans say that they like Huntley better than Algier. They're like, man, shoot, Huntley run the ball better than Algier. He got better vision. He hit the holes faster. I heard plenty of people say that. And at this point, I don't really prefer one or the other. But, of course, Algier going to get more publicity from us because he had a better season. But if you go back and you watch Huntley run the ball, man, Huntley get in that hole and Huntley will get between the tackles. He'll find a hole and he gone. Bam. 4 yards here, 6 yards there, 8 yards there, 9 yards there. Huntley style reminded me of Gerald Riggs because he just get in the hole and he going forward. Get in the hole and he going forward. Always going forward. Always. What's up, Larry? How you doing? Checking in from the Dixon Way. Also, y'all make sure y'all follow my guy and also his wife at the Dixon Way right there. You can click on his profile. It'll take you right there to their YouTube channel. It says having a franchise quarterback is the top priority of any franchise. The second most important position is someone to hunt those franchise quarterbacks. Quarterback, pass rusher, DB, wide receiver. I can pretty much agree with that, bro. I can pretty much agree with that. Because ain't nobody going to argue about quarterback, and you need a pass rusher. You got to have a DB because most teams are throwing the ball like crazy. You're gonna have to have you a good wide receiver eventually. So, yeah, it ain't nothing at all. Don't leave away from this saying that I'm hating on Bijan Robinson because I'm not. Would love to have him, just not at number 8, where he's gonna be coming in making number 8 money, and then the second contract gonna be ludicrous. Just not at number 8, man. Like, no, 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 no. You gonna pick somebody like that, man, at number 8. He gonna need to be pretty much a foundation type player. Running back shelf life just ain't long enough where you can say that's a foundation player. And let me ask y'all this also before I get off here. When was the last time a running back? And y'all please educate me because I can't remember. So y'all, I'm asking y'all to help me out. When was the last time a running back anchored a team to a Super Bowl victory? Please, y'all let me know. When was the last time a running back anchored a team to a Super Bowl victory? That's what I'm asking at this point. Do we got to go back to the 90s? Because I know we can say Emmitt Smith. I'm just, when was the last time a running back anchored a team to a Super Bowl victory? Archangel says maybe Marshawn Lynch. Possibly. I think he played a very vital part. But was the anchor Marshawn or was the anchor the defense? Was the anchor Marshawn or was the anchor the defense? Or do y'all think it was equal footing? Facebook user says also Marshawn Lynch with Seattle. David starts. What's up, David? How you doing, bro? Says Terrell Davis in 98. I think that's probably the last time I can remember one too. Terrell Davis truly anchored that team in 98. John Elway was no longer the John Elway of old. They relied on TD to anchor that team to the Super Bowl, which he did. And the funny thing about TD, yeah, they won the Super Bowl, but what happened right after that? He fell off. Running back, got hurt, couldn't play no more. Retired early. .330 says we have 2 running backs on the practice squad that needs a shot. Millie Mill says, can we say Bettis last year in Pittsburgh? What last year was that in Pittsburgh that Jerome Bettis played and they won? Was that 2004? Millie Mills, help me out. Help me out on a year. Was that 2004? What's up, Todd? Todd Jazz says Marshall Falk. This way, so the Giants paid MID quarterback Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley because quarterback is more important, even though Saquon is a much better player. Man, you said a mouthful at the end, bro. Saquon is definitely more talented at his position, but you pay the quarterback more because it's a more important position. And I don't even think the Giants are trying to pay. I don't think the Giants are trying to get Saquon a second contract. I think they're looking to move him. They was trying to move him this offseason, but they wanted a lot for him, but they was willing to move him. They were willing to move him. Todd Gurley, but got hurt for the Rams. Yeah, but the Rams didn't win it, though. We looking for Super Bowl winners. Ms. B said, I would agree with Marshawn Lynch. Travis's Bettis in 2005. Rams had a passing game that year. Yeah, they did. They definitely did. They definitely did. 06. Okay. All right, so we do have some slight examples. We have some examples that are debatable, but it's not a lot of examples. These last 20, 25 years or so, it hadn't been anchored by running backs. And man, when you're taking a guy number 8, man, that's so far up the totem pole, man. You talking about franchise player territory. So you want to take somebody that you believe can, like, hey man, this guy gonna be a major reason why we win the Super Bowl. This guy gonna be the anchor to a Super Bowl victory. I'm gonna be honest, man. At number 8, I would rather take. I can't never say that guy name. I told y'all I'm country, but Skornowski, the guy, the lineman from Northwestern, I would rather take him at 8 before I take Bijan Robinson. Not because I think Skornowski is a better at his position, but I think his position is more sustainable and it will have more impact to the success of the overall team in the long run. So I'm going to give me a premier tackle over a premier running back any day of the week. In today's football, I take a premier tackle over a premier running back any day of the week. There are so many premier positions that I would take before I get to running back. It's insane. It's insane. So that's why I'm like, number 8, y'all. And I get it. He the shiny object, you know. I get it. He the shiny object. But number 8, y'all, that's a lot of draft equity for a position that only got us about 3 to 4 year run, you know, before the check engine light comes on. I at least want to wait till about year 8, year 9, year 10 before the check engine light comes on. Man, what's this? Peter Skoronowski. Hope I said it right that time. Archangel said, I'll take a running back over a tight end. Let me think about that. Like, what do I want? A top tier running back or a top tier tight end? All right, let me ask you this, Archangel. Would you take Derrick Henry in his prime or Travis Kelsey in his prime? Derrick Henry in Henry's prime or Travis Kelsey in his prime? Which one would you rather have in their prime years? Dixway says, yep, Peter Skronowski is an animal who would have a beast line then. Hey, I would take him over Bijan at any day of the week, bro. Any day of the week. Now, once you get to the second and third and fourth round, okay, that's different. You know, but I just like, man, the top 8 pick. Like if we were coming off a playoff victory, let's say we had just went 11-6, and we won the division playoff game, right? And we drafted 27th to 28th in the first round. Okay, then I might could get on board then because we close to being a Super Bowl winner at that time. We might just be a running back away. And even then, I'm gonna have to really think about it. But at number 8, in our starting cornerback, and this is the cornerback heavy draft, our starting cornerback is 34 years old, missed most of last season, and is only has 1 year left on his deal. Our starting running back has 3 years left on his deal. I just hope the Falcons don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, bro. I love Bijan, man. Love Bijan. But just not at 8, y'all. So I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on it, man, because I like Bijan, man. Like, in fact, I'm about to show y'all. I've been on the Bijan hype train. As you see right here, this is my Facebook post right here. This is my Facebook post. Was talking about him back then, you know. So I said back in 2021 that we should draft him, that we got to get him. I said normally I'm adamant against drafting running backs in the first 2 rounds, but we got to get this dude in Atlanta in 2023 by any means necessary. So I've been posting about him. I've been wanting him on the team, but boy, number 8 draft pick, whoo, that's wild. That is totally wild. Totally wild. Jay Black said draft Skornowski. Sean Glover says Skoronski. Hold on. Skoronski. Thank you. Hey, bro, you know I'm from the country. You know, it take me a while to say them words with a lot of syllables in them. Skoronski. Appreciate it. Tied him over here and said Timmy Smith was with the red. Oh boy, Timmy Smith balled out that game. I remember watching that game. Timmy Smith, I think he's still on the Super Bowl record for the most rushing yards in a game. Millie, I think he had 224 or 248. Damn, let me Google this. I think he had 224, 248. Timmy, I remember that game. I watched that game. Timmy Smith, Super Bowl. Let me see how many yards he had. Bowl record. He went off, and I think that was the only game he did. So he kind of fell off after that. 204 yards. Okay, so I was kind of close. I was kind of close. Yeah, but I'm about to let y'all go, man. This battery about to go dead on this laptop. Uh, like I said before, whenever I had this mic on, I have to plug it into my USB port, and then I take up the other USB port with the Ethernet cord. So I only get about a strong 90 minutes before the laptop go dead. I could take this off and just talk regular, but I think an hour and 23 minutes is long enough. But we're gonna have to continue this conversation. In fact, hopefully I can get somebody on here. We're gonna do a part 2 of this conversation. Hopefully somebody will come on who's in support of getting Bijan at 8, and we can talk about it that way. And then also we're gonna talk about this best player available that our fan base keep going crazy about, that they're overutilizing, and it's driving me crazy. Next time I do a live, I'm gonna tell y'all why best player available has driven me crazy by the Falcons fan base. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm gonna tell y'all next time I come on live why I'm tired of hearing about best player available. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell you exactly why. Winston Thorne said he'll do it. All right, so me and Winston may come on. We'll just we'll have a conversation. He'll be pro draft Bijan at 8. I'll be anti draft Bijan at 8. Ms. B, this is a great show, refreshing out to talk about QBs. Thank God. Appreciate you always checking in, Ms. B. Hey man, let me get out of here, man. Y'all have a great weekend. As always, be safe out there, man. And I'll see y'all the next time I see you.